The World Cup is an increasingly high-scoring affair, with the 2014 tournament in Brazil equalling the record for total goals scored in the competition, with 171. In a knockout tournament like the World Cup, perhaps the most important player on the pitch is the one who can score goals. They are absolutely necessary in a knockout tournament. Just ask Liverpool after their Champions League run this year. Germany's Thomas Müller will enter this year's tournament with 10 World Cup goals already to his name, the highest of any active national team player. But who's he still got to beat out to claim the title of top World Cup goalscorer? Let's take a look at some of the most prolific strikers in the tournament's history with the top 10 World Cup goalscorers. Number 10, Gabriel Batistuta. Argentinian striker Gabriel Batistuta actually has the same goals tally as Thomas Müller with 10, but while it's taken Müller 13 games to get to that figure, Batistuta did it in one fewer game. Spending most of his career at Fiorentina, Batigol as he was often called, or the Angel Gabriel, scored 184 goals in 318 matches for his club and helped his national team to 2 Copa Americas in 1991 and 93. He was one of the best strikers of his generation and went to 3 World Cups, but most notably he is the only player to score a hat-trick at 2 different World Cups. Number 9, Gary Lineker. It's fine margins for goal scoring at the World Cup, so it's no surprise that England legend Gary Lineker is equal to Gabriel Batistuta's record of 10 goals in 12 games. But he just edges the Argentinian out on this list as he only attended 2 World Cups to Batistuta's 3, and his goals helped England to the semi-final, which is further than Argentina reached at any of the competitions Batistuta attended. Lineker is one of England's most iconic strikers, known for his ears and time at Barcelona, Spurs and even Leicester City, his hometown team. When they won the English title in 2016, he wore only a pair of underwear on Match of the Day, the weekly highlights and punditry show he hosts on the BBC. Number 8, Helmut Rahn. Helmut Rahn played for West Germany during the 1954 and 1958 World Cups and is the only player on this list to score in every game he played in. After 10 matches, he had 10 goals, which is even more impressive considering he was technically a right winger rather than an out-and-out striker. He became a legend for one particular goal though, in the 1954 final against Hungary, who hadn't lost a game for 4 years. Germany clawed their way back from 2-0 down, and with 6 minutes left to go, Rahn scored in the lower left corner with his weaker foot, completing the match known as the Miracle of Bern. Rahn helped West Germany reach the final the following tournament too, becoming the first ever player to score at least 4 goals in 2 different World Cups. Number 7, Jürgen Klinsmann. Most recently the US men's national team coach, Jürgen Klinsmann made his name as part of the West Germany team which won the 1990 World Cup and the 1996 Euros. He scored in all 6 major international tournaments he participated in, from Euro 1988 to the 1998 World Cup, and retired from international duty having scored 11 goals in 17 World Cup appearances. His most important coming from an almost perfect game he played against the Netherlands in 1990, where he was forced to play as a lone striker after Germany got a red card in the 22nd minute. The former Spurs striker is also Germany's 4th most capped player of all time, with 108. Number 6, Sandor Kocsis. Hungary striker Sandor Kocsis also had 11 World Cup goals to his name, but unlike Klinsmann, he only attended the one tournament. It took him just 5 matches in 1954 to become the joint 6th highest scorer at the World Cup, becoming the first player to score 2 hat-tricks in one World Cup. To put it in context, he averaged scoring over 2 goals a game in every match he played in at the world's most prestigious football competition. Throughout the rest of his career, he put up similarly impressive numbers, averaging 1.1 goals a game for Hungary, one of the most formidable international sides in the history of the sport. Number 5, Pelé. Statistics aren't needed to explain that Pelé is the greatest footballer of all time, but his 12 goals in 14 World Cup matches certainly don't hurt his title. His goal-scoring ability at league level, at which he is the highest scorer of all time with 1,281 goals in 1,363 games, translated to tournament football too, as he's Brazil's all-time top goal-scorer with 77 goals in 92 appearances. And of the 4 World Cups he attended, he won 3 of them. 1958, 62 and 70. He was also the first player to score in 4 successive World Cups. We should probably save the rest of Pelé's accolades for another list. Number 4, Just Fontaine. Just Fontaine only attended one World Cup for France, but it took him just 6 games to become the top scorer in the history of the World Cup at the time. He scored 13 goals at the 1958 World Cup. 6 of them were in the group stage, and 4 of them were past defending champions West Germany in the third-place playoff game, where France won 6-3. It's the highest number of goals ever scored by one player at a World Cup. He briefly coached the national team after retiring early due to an injury, but he led his birth nation of Morocco to 3rd place at the 1980 Africa Cup of Nations, and was chosen as the best French player of the previous 50 years in 2003 by the French Football Federation. Number 3. Gerd Müller. Widely regarded as one of the all-time greatest goal scorers, Gerd Müller holds plenty of records. He's the 7-time Bundesliga top scorer, 2-time German Footballer of the Year, and a Ballon d'Or winner. But for 32 years he also held the all-time goal-scoring record at the World Cup, with 14 goals in 13 games for West Germany. He netted 10 times at the 1970 World Cup, where Germany finished 3rd, winning the Golden Boot as top scorer, and scored another 4 at the 1974 World Cup, including one in the final to win the tournament. Number 2. Ronaldo. The original Ronaldo, the one which broke the transfer record twice in his career and played for PSV, Inter Milan and Barcelona as well as Real Madrid, also held the all-time top scoring record at the World Cup for 8 years thanks to his exploits with the Brazilian national team. He attended the 1994 World Cup as the youngest member of the team at 17 years old. He didn't score despite the team lifting the trophy that year, but in 1998 he was the player of the tournament. In 2002 he ended the tournament as the top scorer and lifted the trophy again. In the 19 matches he played in, he scored 15 times, setting a new record at the 2006 World Cup. Number 1. Miroslav Klose. The current record holder, Miroslav Klose, scored his 2nd goal of the 2014 World Cup against Brazil in the 7-1 semi-final drubbing, and added insult to injury by breaking the Brazilian Ronaldo's record as the all-time top scorer of the competition, and then he retired after lifting the trophy. He'd seen Germany finish 2nd and 3rd place twice in his previous 3 tournaments, scoring 5 times in 2002, 5 times in 2006 to finish with the Golden Boot, and 4 times in 2010, finishing his international career with 16 goals in 24 World Cup appearances. Klose is one of the rare players who is more memorable for his international career than his club career, but is an international legend for his World Cup contributions. Müller is only 28, so in theory he could go to 2 more competitions to break the record. What do you think? Could he do it? And if not him, then who do you think is most likely to break Klose's record in your lifetime? Let us know in the comments below, along with what other videos you'd like to see, and don't forget to give this one a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any in the future, and we'll see you next time. I'm Lloyd Ballison, and thanks for watching.